DC, Alabama prisoner profiles. What's going on with y'all, man? Hey, I got a doozy for y'all today, man. We got a conspiracy theory coming in from a Mr. Jamey Lynn. Mr. Lynn is a friend of the channel, former prisoner, and some type of super paralegal as well. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I need y'all to understand this is not first-hand information. The only and a lot of people that were involved in these allegations would be passed away today, leaving the only person to corroborate most of this stuff being Mr. Kelvin Washington himself. Shout out to everybody been liking, commenting, showing them interviews love with Pitt. He appreciates y'all. We appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to say before, if you haven't watched the original episode I had, where it's pretty much the government's portrayal of what happened, go check that out. I'm going to try to have that in the description if I can remember to throw it down there for y'all. Alright, so jumping into it. Over a week ago, I commented that this case had nothing to do with picking pecans. I was at Draper in 1994. I was assigned to the infamous farm squads. Farm squads consisted of about 20 inmates, and there were 8 to 10 squads leaving the prison on foot, walking miles and miles to our work site 5 days a week. We helped to clear land used by private citizens to raise farms and or cattle on. Some of our work violated ethics laws because some of the jobs we did, farm bosses and or the warden would be paid cash for. Parentheses, from time to time, farm bosses, correctional guards who supervise farm squad inmate work details would select a few of us to jump in the back of a pickup truck and ride to the cattle ranch to deliver or pick up various types of tools or equipment. I was selected for this task on 3 separate occasions. The cattle ranch looked like a plantation but was operated like a country club. Inmates there had privileges that no other prison offered, not even work releases. Inmates could have conjugal visits with women, fish and hunt on state grounds, have regular barbecue cookouts, etc. The cattle ranch was what I aspired for and worked towards. I was always deeply intrigued with the cattle ranch massacre, but it was many years later before I would meet Kelvin Washington. See, as y'all can see, Michelin. So he's at Draper. That's a picture of Draper right there. Back in the 90s. I think that's a picture of what farm squads might have looked like. Similar, I couldn't find like exact Alabama DOC, but that's just a picture. Just get it in your mind. You can see the building way off. They walking to the work site, like he said. Well, you know what I'm saying. Farm bosses are on the horses and stuff. And hold on, conjugal visits? Now, they really never let them. And heard of that in Alabama anywhere. I don't even think they have that. Do they have that now? I don't think they have that here. Alright, continuing on. It says, fast forward to 2004. I met Washington, better known as Smooth. He did not fit the profile the Alabama Department of Corrections or my imagination had of him. To the contrary, he is soft-spoken, withdrawn, and partially shy. Once I became acquainted with him enough to the point I felt comfortable asking him personal questions, I asked him 2 questions. 1, what in the world could make someone like him go the fuck off like that? Number 2, how in the hell did he escape the death penalty? The answers he gave me placed glasses on my third eye I could never take off, caused me to forever see things differently and dig deeper for the truth of what lies on the surface. So, moving on up to Smooth's actual account. So this is Smooth's answer to the first question. On the day of the massacre, Smooth's mother had discovered she had cancer and rushed to the cattle ranch to break the news to Smooth. However, at the same moment, Warden Farquhar was hosting a small tour of the cattle ranch made up of what Smooth referred to as bigwigs from downtown Montgomery. Upon arrival, Smooth's mother was greeted by a correctional guard. She told him her emergency but asked that he not tell Smooth. She wanted to tell him herself. The guard notified Warden Farquhar, who denied the visit. The guard returned to her with the bad news of the warden's rejection, and she then asked to speak with Warden Farquhar directly. Farquhar refused to meet with her and told the guard to, quote, get rid of her. The lady began to cry and told the guard she was not leaving until she saw Smooth or the warden. The guard went back to Farquhar again. This time Farquhar left the tour group and went to go speak with Smooth's mother. He spoke very harsh to her and threatened to call the sheriff and, quote, have her black ass locked up. The guard had seen enough. He told the warden to let him handle it. Farquhar agreed, but told him that bitch had better be gone before the tour group session ended, and he rejoined the tour group. The guard snuck Smooth out to see his mother behind Farquhar's back, but only gave them a few minutes. He apologized to Smooth and to his mother about how Farquhar treated her. Smooth said of the guard he was the nicest white man I ever met. Smooth said his mother prayed with him and told him she hoped to live to see him get out of prison. Smooth gave his mother a small cardboard box and told her if anything happened to him to take the box straight to the FBI. He kissed her and told her to leave. After the tour group departed, Smooth confronted Farquhar and a heated argument ensued. Farquhar ordered Mrs. Farquhar to go get his shotgun. When she arrived back, Smooth took the gun from her, killed her, warned Farquhar, 2 other inmates who tried to stop him, and the family's guard dog, then burned the house down on top of all of them. He heard screams coming from the burning house, and this is when he learned that Mrs. Farquhar wasn't dead. He thought he had killed her when he first took the shotgun from her. Consequently, she burned alive in the house, which completely consumed everything and everyone inside. Man, I want to hear from y'all out there. Family members out there, y'all know these folks ever handed y'all fucked up like that at the gate or something like that? I want to hear from y'all, man. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Wondering what was in that box. You know we're going to find out. But, man, the woman had cancer, and you got these big wigs from downtown Montgomery, right? Suits and ties, you know what I'm saying? Taking a tour of the facility. And you can't let this man see his mother. It ain't like she has to come see your stupid ass, you know what I'm saying? But you can't. The man's mother has cancer, and you can't. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Alright, second question. How he escaped the death penalty. Okay. Inmates had a camcorder which they used to record visits, cookouts, and other events. Smooth used this device to record a myriad of criminal activities that went on at the cattle ranch, committed by Warden Farquhar and several influential bigwigs, politicians, including the mayor and the sheriff of that town. Cocaine, sex parties, orgies, cocaine shipments delivered by helicopter and hidden on cattle ranch property, and 2 particular videos of one-on-one sex acts of adult men engaged in oral sex with teenage boys no older than 10 or 11 years old. Yes, you read it right, and Smooth had it all on tape. This is what was inside the small box Smooth gave his mother, which he told her to get to the FBI if anything were to happen to him. The sheriff of Hale County and several police officers threatened to take Smooth out in the woods and, quote, hang him high. Smooth told the sheriff that if anything happened to him, that his mother had videotapes that she would take to the FBI, and if anything happened to his mother, he still had someone that would take the tapes to the FBI and bam they stupid ass. He gave up one of the tapes to let them know he wasn't bullshitting. Immediately after this, that's when a man he called, quote, the shot caller entered the picture. The shot caller had been in one of the videos of cocaine shipments delivered and in one of the parties where a young boy had oral sex with another attendee. Smooth gave up 2 more tapes, but he kept 2. The shot caller kept 2, and the shot caller knew it. The shot caller arranged for Smooth not to get the death penalty, but forfeit all his appeal rights in the event a legal flaw or technicality of some kind was later discovered in his court paperwork, and for Smooth, not his mother, to be harmed, quote, Southern Justice style. Southern Justice style. This explains why there isn't a lot of information about his case in public court records and files. I asked Smooth why he recorded the events, and he said his original/only plans were to use them to extort his freedom out of the state in the event he was denied parole when he came up for review. The shot caller told him, though, that if the remaining video footage ever surfaced in the media, that he and his mother and everybody he loved would surely be killed. He said he was even told that his death would be made to look like a suicide or an attempted escape. Now y'all see what I'm saying? This shit is getting too deep. I just wanted to start a little YouTube channel and turn up for the state of Alabama, you know what I'm saying? But this shit is, now I can't stop because I'm the voice now, and now I gotta bring y'all this shit. But what? sex parties, dope, helicopter shipments. What is this? Scarface? Goddamn, is this the movie Blow? So the state of Alabama is serving bowls, and he got it on tape. Trafficking children and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a wild theory, but who knows what the fuck went on. There's barely any oversight today. You just imagine back in the 90s and any time before that, what the hell these folks were doing, what the hell they wanted to do. You heard what they said. The sheriff in these type of places in the state about, it's small town, everybody in the county knows everybody, that type of shit. Everybody's related. These motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? For everybody to boom, get behind one little, you know what I'm saying, cover up, and then there it is. And then prisoner shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd been too easy for them to take his ass out there and goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Or like today where they find motherfuckers, quote, overdose, right? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't telling who the shot caller is. And then you gotta forfeit your appeal right, so he ain't never getting out of this bitch. Ever. Like, unless by some miraculous, you know what I'm saying? Like, I low-key might be, hell, he's his only hope in getting out. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Alright, continuing on. Smooth made his peace, accepted the life without parole sentence, and left the situation alone. He would like to go free someday, but he said he's made peace with the string possibility that he will die in prison of old age. But he said that would be better than frying in the electric chair or getting hung by his neck. All this conversation took place when I first met Smooth in 2004. Now fast forward to 2011 or 2012, can't remember which. Smooth, myself, and several other inmates were watching the news, and something important / political was going on concerning the shot caller previously mentioned. Smooth looked over at me with childlike excitement and said, "Hey man, that's the shot caller right there." I was confused until he reminded me about the shot caller involved in his case. I said to Smooth, "Man, do you know who that is?" He said, "Not really, but I know that he was the shot caller in my case." I said, "Man, that's Paul Hubbard, president of Alabama's Education Association and a very historical figure in modern Alabama history." Then everything dawned on me and made sense. Paul Hubbard was, quote, the most powerful political figure in this state. Not the governor, not the attorney general, Paul Hubbard. Under Alabama law, so then he goes into the capital murder laws here about Smooth's case. Smooth committed capital murder in 4 different facets under Alabama law, any of which single-handedly carries the death penalty by itself. So ain't no way in hell Smooth missed the death penalty pursuant to law or southern justice when he committed such horrific crimes which he couldn't deny. Smooth's crimes were committed in 94, 4 years after Patrick Carr, y'all remember Carr, killed Officer William E. Donaldson, and we see what happened to Patrick, right? He was sentenced to death by electrocution and all appeals denied by the courts. But he was lynched by prison guards, southern justice style, before the state could schedule his execution. Y'all remember that theory, right? So how in the hell did Smooth escape all this after killing a warden, his wife, 2 other inmates, and don't forget the dog. Y'all know how them people feel about the dog. Under circumstances that violated 4 different capital murder statutes, and is still living the day, even though Paul Hubbard is dead circa 14 or 16, and undoubtedly many others involved with this case are probably dead as well. As you can see, that's Paul right there, and to Paul's news, whoever took Paul's place. Look, I don't know nothing. I'm just a humble. I don't listen, please. I don't want to be found with my arms and legs missing and shit, please. Crazy shit. But moving on. But like I said last week when the subject of this episode was first advertised, this case had nothing to do with picking pecans. Such was a normal part of cattle ranch inmates' work details, so if Smooth had an issue with that, he could have easily refused and been sent back to a regular prison. Believe me, he could have easily done that, and Warden Farquhar would have accommodated him with no hesitation. Those people didn't lose their lives over Smooth being disgruntled about a chore assignment, and Smooth is not still alive because Farquhar's children chose to forgive him for savagely murdering both of their parents. Man, that's wild. Couple more notes he had about Smooth. He said he is very shy and partially spooked, but if you gain his trust, he will correspond. Now, I don't know about the wife's jury. He never mentioned that, but again, my focus was on the two questions I asked him. I read something about, I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, something about how they said he had the wife's jewelry in his possession, or they found the wife's jewelry in his property or something like that when he arrived back at the cattle ranch driving them folks' car allegedly with alleged blood on his clothes. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. What are you referring to? The Iron Bowl? Do you mean the football game between Alabama and Auburn? If you're referring to that game, it's usually played in November. Smooth Cattle Ranch Massacre occurred in late October 1994. So that was another theory that the Iron Bowl was supposedly on TV this day, and that's why he was so irate and mad and supposedly murdered 4 people, because he wanted to watch the Iron Bowl game, not be out there in the Alabama sun picking pecans. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. Let's see. Once you conclude an extensive, thorough research on Paul Hubbard, you will understand how he was able to call shots dictating Smooth's fate. Even though by profession he was basically an education director, not a lawyer, judge, attorney general, governor, none of the sort. To the contrary, he was more powerful than all those put together. But no, the Iron Bowl was not that day. All the correctional guards at Draper, which is where he's at the time, were die-hard Alabama or Auburn football fanatics. Nothing went on except feeding and pill call distribution at Draper during the day of the Iron Bowl. The day of the massacre, a couple farm bosses had selected a few inmates to take that delivery/pickup ride to the cattle ranch, and I was not selected that day. Shit, thank God, bro. Thank God. So no, the Iron Bowl was not that day. Then to Google says the Iron Bowl was played on November 19th, 1994 at 2:30 at Legion Field in Birmingham. Oh, Lord have mercy. So there y'all have it again. We had another theory come in. Like I said, fiction as far as we are concerned over here at the channel, and we in no way, shape, or form hold this information out to be blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? It's just theory came in, you know what I'm saying? Don't come from my head, literally. You know what I'm saying? Dude want to know, like, bro, you know what I'm like, you see, this is why I can't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know, because you got other advocates inside, like shout out Bernard Jimison and Swift Justice, that are, you know what I'm saying? These people are inside with cell phones every day, filming some fucked up shit and bringing it to the world. And I'm trying to figure out how they ain't found them folks unresponsive yet. You know what I'm saying? Lord knows, I know they probably done tried, but you know, maybe I'm just thinking too far into it, I guess. Too much into it, because this is some crazy ass shit. But y'all, let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. TikTok going down, Facebook going down. We got more interviews. I'm gonna get back trapping this shit out, probably back like this, you know what I'm saying, for Philly to get back to my roots. But y'all know what's going on.